Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to today's class. Class 11, Economic Subjects, Session 3. Last class, we have discussed about the term economics and certain definitions of some of the concepts like economy. What is economy? What are the definitions of the subject economics? Who is known as the father of economics? Who is known as an economic man? Some of those questions we had discussed, and today, as I have told you, we are going to start with our chapters. Before beginning the first chapter, or before the entry of the subjects in detail, we need to study or we need to understand some of the economic concepts. Therefore, I would like to start the chapter 2, and after completing chapter 2, after studying all the concepts, all the basic concepts of economics, we will be aware about the subject matter. So let us start the second chapter today. The chapter name is Basic Concepts of Economics. Basic Concepts of Economics. Economics, like any other subject, has its own terms and concepts. In this chapter, we are going to discuss some elementary concepts, some important concepts which are frequently used in economic analysis. While we study the subject economics, we usually use some of the concepts every now and then. And those concepts, we must make it clear. So those concepts we explain in this chapter. Because those elementary concepts, those basic concepts, we use in our day-to-day life, Let us start. As I have explained in the introductory part, economics is concerned with various economic issues. The subject economics is concerned with various economic issues pertaining to the economic behavior of individuals, society, and the economy. I have told you, why do we work? Why do people work? People work in order to earn money. What is our aim? Just earn money and spend money, which is generally being considered as the subject matter of the economics. Earn money and spend money. This would be the aim of an individual. If somebody is ready to work in an economy with his economic activities, that person is able to earn some money. Therefore, everyone, all of us work in order to earn that income. Why do we earn income? Why do we earn income? It's a question. That income is very essential for us in order to survive on earth, to purchase the essential commodities, to purchase the necessities, and therefore we are able to satisfy our wants. So people work in order to gain income so as to satisfy human wants. Economics itself is a social sciences which deals with the human wants and their satisfaction. Once we earn the income, the next moment we ready to purchase anything or we ready to spend that income just to earn pleasure or to satisfy the human wants. In order to make enjoyment, we used all those money what we earned in our economic activity. The term want ordinarily means, what is mean by want? The term want. The term want ordinarily means wish. Term want. What do you mean by the term want? It's a wish or it's a desire for something. So want means just a wish or a desire. What do you mean by want? Want means wish or desire. Desire for something. I could easily wish for something. It's my behavior, or being a consumer, being an individual in the economy, I would like to wish anything. I can wish anything. I don't mind anybody. I can wish anything. I can desire anything. No problem. Ordinarily, want and desire are used as synonyms in general terms. Okay? But in economics, want and desire have an important meaning or different meaning. They are used in the synonymous sense, but in the economics or in economics, the two terms are used in different senses. How does it differentiate? Or on what way it is differentiated? Desire and want. What is desire or what is want? Desire is the wish to have something. What is desire? Desire is defined as a wish to have something. So we can write desire is a wish. Wish to have something. Desire is a wish to have something. You can just desire. You can just wish to have something. Whereas want, what is meant by want? Want is differentiated with desire. Desire is just a wish to have something. Whereas want is not just a wish. Then what is? Want is an effective desire. Want is an effective desire for a particular thing in order to, or which can be satisfied by making an effort to acquire it. I repeat, want is an effective desire. Effective desire. What is meant by effective desire? Desire is backed up to by the ability to get that particular thing. Desire is backed up to by the purchasing power, backed up to by the purchasing power, or backed up to by the money of the individual of any commodity. Wish or desire is just to have something. You wish it, but you cannot desire or you cannot want anything. Can you wish anything? Yeah. You wish anything. I wish to get an aeroplane today. I would like to become the great leader. It's my wish. Then what would be my want? Want is not equal to the desire in relation with the economics subject. Desire is or want is an effective desire, backed up to by effective desire, which can be satisfied by making an effort to acquire that commodity. It is my wish to have a luxurious car, for example. It is my wish to have a luxurious car. I just wished. Does it mean that I got it? No. Have you got it? Immediately after your wish, can you say that you have got that item? No. Then when will you get that item? If you make some effort to acquire that item. So that effort is what? It is my interest. It is my level of income. It is my ability to purchase that. These are all the way that approaches or my efforts are being treated as those determinants to get to that item. So when there is an effective desire is backed up by for a particular thing in order to get to that item, or we are making an effort, I must make an effort to acquire that thing, is called want. I think I am clear to you. Have you got it? What's the difference between want and desire? Desire is a wish to have something, no problem. You can wish anything, you can desire anything. But economically you cannot say you are in need of want. If you say that I want, it means my pocket is much full of money. I must ready to spend that much amount in order to acquire that product. If I am able to get to that one, if I am a person who is ready to spend or take that much amount to get that product, then I could say I want. So I am saying I want a luxurious car, which means I am ready. All my effective desire, my ability is ready to get that particular item. So this is the difference between want and desire. Now we go to the classification of human wants. We can see that classification of human wants. You just write that again. Classification of human wants. Classification of human wants. Human wants can be generally classified into two groups: primary wants and secondary wants. So we can write primary wants. Primary wants and secondary wants. Primary wants and secondary wants. What is meant by primary wants? We can conveniently divide the human wants into two categories, that is primary wants and secondary wants. Now we are going to study about the human wants, because the term want is to be explained very clearly. I told you what is want. Now what is human want? Human want, the classification is two types. Primary wants. What are primary wants? Primary wants refer to wants for those goods which are necessary for the very existence of human life and for the maintenance of normal efficiency, which are necessary. Primary wants are wants for those goods which are necessary for the essential for existence. The essential commodity like food, clothes and shelter. These are my primary wants. I must get it in order to continue my life on earth. So such wants are known as primary wants. Primary wants can be easily, there is a division, primary wants in the cases of necessities like food, shelter and clothes, we can say, or in other cases we can also say that those goods which are necessary for maintaining the normal efficiency of the individual. Okay, for example, for a factory worker, plenty of food is necessary to maintaining his efficiency. In order to, if I want to work in a factory with my full strength, I need to get more efficiency, more food in which help me to improve my efficiency there. So in that two concepts, we can also divide the primary wants into two categories. Necessities cases, food and shelter. A worker can work in a factory or anywhere if he or she is provided basic amenities, or if or he received such amenities in a lavish way, in a plentiful way, then only we could say that they are able to work in the economy. So classification, you could also note down, human wants can be classified into two categories: primary wants and secondary wants. What is primary wants? I told you that the wants which are necessary or which help us to existence in the world. Then second one, this primary wants. Primary wants we can classify as I told you that necessities. Primary wants can be in the group of necessities. So classification is necessities. What are called the necessities? Necessities means, what are necessities? Food, clothes, shelter. Okay, food, clothes, shelter. These are called necessities. Necessities comes under primary wants. Whereas in secondary wants we can see two types there: comforts and luxuries. First one is comforts and second one is luxuries. Comforts and luxuries. Comforts and luxuries. What is mean by comforts and what is called luxuries? Okay. Wish for comforts. If an individual wish for comforts, we could say that those are comforts are the wants for those goods which are source of comfort and happiness. So we should write comfort and happiness. Comfort and happiness. The item that provides an individual that comfort and happiness, such commodity is called as comfort or comes under the category of comforts. For example, you can say that during a summer season, if you make a air cooler in your bedroom or inside your home, that gives you comfort and happiness. So those are called those items that provides that happiness in a normal life, then it's called comforts. Then what about luxurious? Luxurious items are not similar to comforts, which is having the degree, one more high level than the comforts. So those expensive commodity or goods and services which are very expensive and that mean to show more status or the wealth or the power of a person. If those commodities, luxurious commodities are, if a person use gold chains or diamond necklace or such precious jewelry, if somebody is wear, that shows their status in the society or their wealth condition in the society. Public can easily observe the people by their and understand their richness by seeing their way of wearing these types of dresses. Okay, so that such proudy shows that proudy or the wealth or richness in anybody's life. That commodity is known as luxurious. So luxurious, for example, if I say that in place of just a cooler, if somebody is used an AC, okay, that shows it is more expensive and more it is considered as luxurious. Okay, and that provides a good life, more what we can say happiness. So comforts and luxuries, these two items have slightly differentiated. One gives happiness and comfort in one's life, whereas luxurious are the goods which are meant to show the wealth and power of a person. So in that we can write wealth and power of a person. Wealth and power. Wealth and power of a person. That is the difference in this case of comforts and luxurious. Clear? So we have discussed so far what is want. Okay, it's just a wish. Okay, want, a wish or desire differences. Wish or desire is a wish to have something. Want is not a wish because it is backed up by a strong desire that makes somebody to acquire that item. Then that could be want. Human wants are classified into two categories: primary wants, secondary wants. Primary wants, under that we see the necessities like food, clothes and shelter. And secondary wants are two types: comforts and luxuries. Comforts, that those are the items or goods which provides you comfort and happiness, whereas luxurious are the items or economic goods that meant to show the wealth and power of the persons. Clear? This is the general classification of human wants. Now we come to the another topic, and we will discuss the features of human wants. You can just note up to this. Alright, let me rub this. So we will discuss about features of human want. Features of human want. The first feature. What are the features? Okay, certain features we will discuss. The main features are as follows. The first one is wants are unlimited. Wants are unlimited. Wants are unlimited. What is meant by wants are unlimited? I have told you, why do economic goods have prices? When I asked these questions, I told you that economics goods have prices. It is because of the wants. Because you remember that wants start when the child is born, and these wants remain till he or she goes to the graveyard. Wants, want is it's a compulsory part that everybody are in need of certain economic goods so as to satisfy our wants. So wants are limited in nature. Economic goods have prices because those goods are limited and they have demand. The natural gifts like sunrise or air or water does not have the prices, except in cases we do not see now, like bottled water and all. The other cases that it is freely available, bulk amount of quantity of that commodity is freely available in the nature. Therefore, such commodity don't have any demand, and they don't wear or receive any prices. But the rest all economic goods, every goods have prices because those goods are limited in nature, they are scarce in nature. Why do they face scarcity? It is because of human wants are unlimited. Our wants, my want is not limited in number, but I have number of wants. Immediately after the satisfaction of one want, my next want may arise. Or after completing one want, that leads to origin the second want. The initial stage, as I am very poor, I need to get a cycle to ride. If suppose my want is satisfied, then immediately my wish to go, my want goes to the next one, that in place of cycle, I need a sports bike. Then bike to the car to the luxurious car, then like other items. This way it multiplies, or this way these are unlimited in nature. So wants are unlimited in nature. Wants are unlimited. Then people, number of people, 135 crores people in India. Their wants multiple, number of multiple wants those people have. They have a number of multiple wants. I want not only a car, but I need a number of things, all my wants. Multiple wants are being created by this number of people. Therefore, our wants are unlimited in nature. We are unable to satisfy, or we are unable to fulfill our wants due to the limited resources. We are in need of 100 good type of hero pen, but the availability is only 15 number, unlimited in it. It is limited, items are limited. 135 crores people, 100 crores people are unemployed in nature. They are in need of employment opportunities. In India, we see that we face so many problems. Government is failed to create that much number of employment opportunities, limited employment opportunities, but our wants are unlimited. In that cases, we could say that people acquire every moment new and new wants. So this would be the first important feature of human wants. And the second one feature, we could say wants are complementary. You can also write wants are complementary. Wants are complementary. What is meant by complementary? When two or more wants are, or more goods are wanted together in order to satisfy my one want, because I need to satisfy, I want a car. Okay, car, I have a car, but I cannot take the car from one place to another place. I need one thing compulsory, that is petrol. So car and petrol must be used together, complementary to each other. Pen and ink, you have a pen without ink does not mean that it works. Which means that certain commodities are attached to one another, that could be used with the help of the another one. So in such commodities are complementary in nature. So we can say wants are complementary. The want of a car, as I have told you, the want of a car creates the want of petrol. The want of a pen creates the want of an ink. Such a way it creates demands. The want of a shoes creates the want of a socks. The want of a bread creates the want of jam. Such a way complementary to each other. Okay. Then the third point we will see, third feature we will see substitution of wants. Substitution of wants. What is meant by substitution of wants? A particular want can be satisfied by two or more goods. For example, if we are thirsty, suppose you are thirsty, you need to satisfy your thirsty, and your thirsty can be satisfied by a cold drink. So a cold drink or by a glass of simple thing, juice. So either juice or that cold drinks, okay, substitution of wants. In order to satisfy one want, okay, you can use any of that items. Both are equally used for the satisfying your wants. I need to drink something. When I feel thirsty, either I should get a glass of water or I should get a glass of juice. So in such a way, substitution of wants, one is not available. So in place of that, the another one is used for satisfying my want. Clear? So even there is a situation if you don't have money to purchase the Coca-Cola or Pep, and you may satisfy your thirsty by drinking plain water. Simple thing. So that is what is another feature of human wants, substitution of wants. And the fourth one we can say, wants are competitive. Wants are competitive. Wants are competitive in nature. What is competitive in nature? Wants, man has limited income. Wants are unlimited. But I cannot satisfy every my wants because my income level is limited. I have only 100 rupees. How could I satisfy all my wants? Such cases, we are ready to accept the one which is required at first. Competitive in nature. For example, if we say that, suppose you need to spend, or you have 100 rupees or 200 rupees with you, and you are asked to spend it for satisfying your wants, and the wants comes that either you should spend that 200 rupees in a restaurant for eating something, pizzas and all, or else you can also utilize the same amount of money by getting a movie ticket to watch the film so that you will be satisfied. So it is your idea, or it is your decision that which of the item is being selected by you. In such a way, those two wants for movie ticket and wants for pizza, are competitive enough. According to you, to which of the item that you give the priority must be fulfilled. So this way, wants are competitive in nature. Clear? The next point is wants multiply. Wants multiply. Wants multiply. What is meant by multiplication? Multiplication table. It multiplies, increases within a time. Population explosion. Population increases so rapidly. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16 and 32 like that. Whereas the need, the limited, the quantity increases in an order like 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Therefore, human wants are unlimited and resources are being limited in nature. Wants multiply in such a way. I told you that. In order to immediately after satisfying one want, the next one generates. According to the situation or according to the growth of the technology, what is used in India, according to the human technology, according to our knowledge, our efficiency, it can be easily multiplied. Many goods are being produced, but many cannot be satisfied. Many cannot be utilized because of certain limitations. In that cases, what we can say, for example, like the units of commodity is being properly decided according to the income of a person. Whenever there is a number of wants, the one must be selected immediately and be satisfied. It can generate those things, creates another want. So in such a way, wants multiply. I got a car, immediately I have another want that I should get a luxurious BMW car. So this way, wants multiply. The number increases with the limited resources. Limited resources are limited in nature. Okay? Then we will see that wants recur, another feature. Wants recur. What is recur? Reoccur. Again and again. It comes again and again. Wants urgence or begin again and again. How does not mean that in the morning you have had your breakfast. Doesn't mean that you need not to get it the next day. Alternatively, according to the time you need to get it the next day. Oh, okay, it also needs. It comes again and again. Once recur in nature. Today I have something. Okay, and the next moment, after some hours, I need again I am in need of food, so I will have it. So such a way, this in the case of meal, taking the meal, in relation with a person, that can reoccur again and again in one's life. Such a way, once this can be recorded. The another important point: a single want can be satisfied. A single want can be satisfied. A single want can be satisfied. What about a single want? At a time you are able to satisfy a single want. There are, as I told you, that our wants are unlimited. Many wants before us, but you are able to satisfy only a single wants. A single wants, after satisfying a single want, that gives an opportunity to select the next one. Such a way you can satisfy. Why you are able to satisfy only a single want? Because I told you the reason. Resources are limited in nature. Wants are unlimited. Our resources are limited. Means what is used, okay, to satisfy our wants are limited in nature. Clear? The next point: some wants can be postponed. Some wants can be postponed. Some wants can be postponed. If you are not able to satisfy your want today, no problem, you can postpone it by tomorrow. If you are not able to purchase a TV today or an air condition today, then it's not a matter. You can postpone it for next day and you can purchase it by the next day. So such a way people can postpone their wants, because sometimes they are unable to get it. Sometimes they are unable to give a strong desire, okay, in relation with their money or income level. So they are free to postpone their wants for the next day, right? Then the last one: wants differ in their urgency. Wants differ in their urgency. What is wants differ in their urgency? Certain times that this implies that an individual has a scale of preference. According to your scale of preference, you must select. I told you, number of items before you. It is exhibited. So what should I select? What will I opt? Which of the item will I select first and will I give first preference? It is according to your scale of preference. What do you prefer? What is your income level? According to your income level, according to your ability to purchase, you may prefer the item. So, certain situations, the want can be differ in their urgency. If you are, okay, you need to get a pen because already you have a pen, but one more new pen you have seen in the market and you need to get it. But it is not that much urgent to get to that pen. Therefore, you can easily opt for the another item according to your scale of preference, your preference. Preference based on your income, your taste, your money power, your efficiency and your what we can say complete efforts. So as per the scale of preference, everyone can arrange the items according to the emergencies, according to the urgency. You can purchase it or you can get it. So this way wants differ in their urgency. Clear? So these are some of the features of human wants. Okay, so today here we complete our classes of today's after discussing these many points or features of human wants, and the next class we will start with some other concepts, other basic concepts of economy. So up to here you need to read what is meant by human want, what's the difference between wants and desire, what are the classification of human wants, and what are the features of human want. This much things you have to read it very clearly, underline some of the points in the textbook, some of the definitions, or if any doubts if create after reading the chapter, you could ask me later when we meet together, not in your fair copy, and try to study. Okay, bye.